Hey guys, I am doing a lid lock replacement today on a newer Whirlpool top load washer, and these are a little bit different to install than slightly older ones. Not a lot of documentation on YouTube yet, so I'm going to show you how to take this apart. I have 3 items here that I will need to do this, which is basically a drill gun, 1/4-inch hex drive on it, putty knife, and then some tape for the lid once we have to tilt the unit back. The whole thing about these lid locks are that they've changed how they come apart, and they're a little bit more difficult to deal with if you've never had to fix one of these before. But once you get the hang of it, it's super easy. So I'm going to show you what needs to be done to fix this. With nothing else on the washer, I'm going to go ahead and grab my drill gun, and we're going to take the nuts off the back part of this with one hand, hopefully. I have the back of the washer already opened up just for easier access. This is the back of the washer. You have the lid lock harness right there, and there's, I want to say, like 6 screws on the back of this unit that you take off that's already been removed. So that's step number 1, so you can reveal the power control unit in the back of this. Then you're going to come over to each side and take your drill gun or 6-in-1 screwdriver and take these out. This is going to loosen up the whole hull of the washer. One on each side will allow you to open up the top of the lid. Sometimes there is a secondary area, a piece of metal right here that you'll have to remove as well, where everything, the power cord and the pressure hose goes down to the bottom. Usually the screw's right here, but it's already been removed. So we got the back of the unit up. The next thing we're going to do is tape the lid, so when we rock it back, there won't be the lid flying every which way. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and take out the wire harness from the back of it. I got a really old nasty putty knife here. You just insert it, push back as far as it goes until you hear almost like a click, and then you're going to roll the putty knife up until the console pops up. You're going to do it on both sides, the left side and then the right side, or the right side and the left side, depending on what you want to do. Push in, pop up, and that whole console is going to rock to the back, and then you can basically remove the console by pushing it forward once you've rocked it up and expose every part of the wire harness. Then we're going to just trace where the wires go. It goes up here to the upper right corner, and we're just going to remove that. You got a 3-prong right here, and then go back down. And you may need needle nose pliers for this. I can do it with my fingers, so it's really not a bad deal. And now this is basically ready to come out of the washer once we have the lid up. So I'm going to go ahead and put the console back onto the unit, push it down, hear it click, and then now we can go ahead and lift the lid up and go to the next part of replacing the lid switch. This one works the same way as pretty much any other Whirlpool washer does. What we're going to do is take the lid, we're going to move it forward, then up, and then back towards the back. Once we do that, the whole lid will be accessible for us to change out the lid lock. With the lid now up, we can remove the lid lock. I had a paint scraper that I thought would work, or a putty knife that would work to remove this, but it's actually too wide to fit in between the hull and the lid lock itself. So now I'm using a small flat-headed screwdriver. Again, I think a paint scraper would work if it was pretty shallow, but we'll use this. To open up the lid lock and take it out, we're going to insert it here and push it back to release the lid lock. We're going to push in, and then we're going to pry up. And there we go. And your lid lock is now totally out of the unit from the underneath side. You're going to go in, start replacing all of the housing work here, and we have the lid lock harness right here. So again, everything's released, and you're just going to go ahead and remove the old unit and replace it with the new one. So that's pretty much all there is to this sort of unit. Now to insert it, you're going to do the exact opposite on the new lock. You're going to take it, push it in on this right side, and then you can kind of see right here that the whole white housing where the striker goes in at is pushed down, and then you're just going to push it over to the left. And it is now the new lock fully in place, and you are going to simply put your harness back in, plug the control board in, and on some models you're good to go. However, on a lot of these, you can have a major issue with the striker that's on the other side of this casing when you have put the new lock in, and we'll go ahead and address that real quick. To fix the lid striker issue, you're going to take the power plug, go ahead and plug it in to reactivate the machine. So we got that. The harness is installed. Everything's basically ready to go on this unit except your lid striker isn't fully in. From this point, you're going to make sure that the lid is still able to be lifted up, and you're going to take the lid, lift it up, and I can't do this with one hand because I have my phone in the other hand. But what you're going to do is right here where the lid striker is, and again, this one's actually okay, but that lid striker is going to need to be depressed while you turn the machine on. So you're going to hold up on this bar here, and that is going to trick the machine to think that the lid switch is open, which it's not, and then you're going to go ahead and turn the machine on using the start button. So from here, you're going to turn it on and pretend to run a load of laundry. With one hand firmly on the lid lock depressed, you're going to go around and to the front of the unit, go ahead and turn it on. Now, I can't do that with one hand available, but once you get this turned on, once you get the button depressed with the other hand, it's going to start a load of clothes, and you're going to be 110% fine. You'll hear the lid lock engage, which will let you drop the door in the striker in the right position because it's now unlocked. Once that's done, you are 100% good to go. You will go ahead and let the lid down, put the lid back on the way that it was, which you're going to start from like a forward-facing position. It's going to go forward, down, and then back and lock in place, and then you're going to continue with a hopefully working Whirlpool washer. And this works on Amanas or Maytags, pretty much any brand that has these flashing lights on it. And I hope that helps you to install the new style Whirlpool lid lock that has 3 plugs on it.